The snow was falling harder than the weather forecast promised, and Daniel's old pickup struggled against the icy road. His 6-year-old daughter, Lily, sat in the back seat humming a Christmas tune, her voice the only warmth in the cold silence. He was heading home from his late-night shift, thinking only about the leftover pizza waiting for them, when he saw her. A woman. In the middle of the road. Barefoot. Wearing a white wedding dress, soaked and torn. Daniel slammed the brakes. The tires screeched. The woman didn't even flinch, just stood there, shivering, her mascara streaking like ink tears. He jumped out, coat in hand. "Hey! Are you okay?" She looked up, eyes wide, lost. He left me at the altar." Daniel blinked. "You're freezing. Get in the truck before you turn into ice." She hesitated, glancing toward the empty road behind her, then climbed in quietly beside Lily, who offered her a small smile and a chocolate bar. As Daniel drove, the woman whispered, "You don't even know me. Why stop?" He shrugged. "Nobody deserves to be left out in the cold, especially not like that." She looked at him, eyes softening through her pain. "You sound like someone who's been left behind too." Daniel gripped the steering wheel tighter, his throat tightening. He didn't answer. But her words, simple, fragile, hit harder than he expected. Because she was right. He knew that feeling all too well. The heater hummed softly as Daniel's truck rolled through the quiet town. The woman, her name was Emily, sat clutching Lily's tiny blanket like it was the last safe thing in the world. No one spoke for a while. Only the sound of snow tapping the windshield filled the silence. Finally, Daniel said gently, "You got somewhere to go?" Emily shook her head. "My parents, they told me not to marry him. I didn't listen. I thought love meant proving them wrong." Her voice cracked. "Guess I was the one who was wrong." Lily leaned forward between the seats, her small voice breaking the heaviness. "Daddy says people who love you never leave you in the rain." Daniel glanced at his daughter through the rearview mirror, surprised by her wisdom. Emily smiled faintly. "Your daughter's smart." "She's my whole world," Daniel said, his tone softening. "Lost her mom 3 years ago. It's just us now." Emily's eyes welled up again, not from her pain, but from his strength. "I thought my life ended tonight," she whispered. "But seeing you too, maybe it's just beginning again." Daniel pulled up near a small diner still open despite the storm. "Come on," he said. "Let's get you warm and fed. You don't have to face this night alone." Inside, under the flickering neon lights, 3 strangers shared a booth, one heartbroken woman, one tired father, and one little girl with a smile big enough to melt the coldest night. And for the first time that evening, Emily laughed, a real laugh. It wasn't loud. It wasn't long. But it was the sound of hope slowly coming back to life. The diner smelled of coffee and fresh pie, the kind of scent that made broken people feel a little less broken. Emily sat opposite Daniel and Lily, her fingers still trembling around a steaming mug of cocoa. Lily was busy drawing on a napkin with a red crayon she carried everywhere. She looked up and said, "You can stay with us if you don't have a home." Daniel smiled awkwardly. "Lily." But Emily's eyes softened. "That's sweet, honey." She turned to Daniel. "You've raised her right." Daniel chuckled quietly. "More like she's raising me." They talked, really talked, for the first time. Emily told him about her dream of starting a community art program for kids. "But I gave it up when he said it was silly. Said I needed to focus on real life," she murmured. Daniel looked down, tracing his finger on the table. "Funny. My wife used to say that about my dream too. I wanted to open a garage. Something of my own. But after she passed, all I focused on was surviving." Emily met his gaze. "Maybe you don't have to just survive anymore." The words hung between them, quiet yet powerful. Outside, the snow had eased into a calm drizzle. The world felt gentler somehow. As they walked back to the truck, Emily stopped and looked at the reflection in the diner window, her torn wedding dress, her tired face, but a spark in her eyes again. "Thank you, Daniel," she said softly. "For stopping." He smiled. "Sometimes, the people we stop for end up helping us move again." And neither of them knew yet how true that would become. By morning, the storm had cleared. A golden glow touched the frosted streets as Daniel poured coffee in his small kitchen. Lily sat on the counter, giggling while Emily, now dressed in one of Daniel's old hoodies, tried flipping pancakes. "Careful," Daniel warned. Too late. The pancake landed half on the stove, half on the floor. Lily burst into laughter. "Daddy does that all the time." Emily laughed too, her first carefree laugh in months. For a moment, it didn't feel like three strangers, it felt like family. After breakfast, Daniel drove Emily to pick up a few of her things from her old apartment. She hesitated before stepping out of the truck. "He might still be there," she said softly. Daniel nodded. "You're not alone this time." Her ex-fiancé wasn't home, but walking through the half-empty apartment was harder than she expected. The wilted flowers, the unopened wedding gifts, it all felt like pieces of a life she no longer wanted. When she came back downstairs, she was holding a small canvas and a paintbrush. "This is all I really need," she said with a bittersweet smile. That evening, she sat up in Daniel's living room, painting while Lily played nearby. The house, once filled only with silence and memory, now felt alive again, with color, laughter, and a quiet kind of healing. Daniel watched her from the doorway, realizing something unexpected. Maybe helping her wasn't just about saving someone else. Maybe it was about saving himself, too. Weeks passed. The snow melted, the streets thawed, and so did the cold spaces in their hearts. Emily had started volunteering at Lily's school, teaching kids to paint. Her laughter filled Daniel's home now, like music that reminded him life could be good again. One evening, after dinner, Lily proudly showed them her latest drawing, a family of 3 holding hands beneath a rainbow. Daniel smiled softly. "That's beautiful, sweetheart." Lily looked up. "It's us." Emily's eyes glistened. She tried to speak but couldn't. Daniel looked at her, his heart caught somewhere between gratitude and something deeper he wasn't ready to name. Later that night, as Emily cleaned her brushes, she said quietly, "You know, the night you stopped for me, I thought my life had ended. But you and Lily, you showed me what love really looks like. Not the kind that promises forever, but the kind that shows up when it matters." Daniel met her gaze. "And you reminded me it's okay to start over. That the past doesn't define what comes next." A soft silence fell between them, comfortable, warm. Outside, spring rain began to fall. Daniel moved closer, placing his jacket around her shoulders, the same one he'd offered the night they met. Emily smiled. "Déjà vu?" "Maybe just fate," he said, smiling back. Lily's voice called from the hallway, "Daddy, are we having pancakes again tomorrow?" Daniel laughed. "You bet we are." Emily's laugh joined his, and in that sound, there was healing, hope, and something that felt like home. Because sometimes, the people you stop for on a cold, dark road are the ones who lead you back into the light.